Hey guys, Mrbossftw here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about how if you're a fan of Sony and the PlayStation 5 and also like Rockstar's titles, I actually have some bad news for you. So this actually came out the other day from a company not really related to Rockstar, and that is Ubisoft. So this tweet coming from the Twitter account GTA Online News, which I'll leave a link to in the description. They said this: in a recent frequently asked question from Ubisoft, it was revealed PlayStation 2 and PS3 backwards compatibility will not be featured on Sony's PlayStation 5. Thus, all Rockstar titles that were released on PS3 and PS2 will not be playable on PlayStation 5. And then it says, read more. And if we actually take a look at what the article says, it's kind of weird, but it says transitioning PlayStation 4 titles to next-gen versions. And it says, how does upgrading from PS4 to PlayStation 5 work? And they said, as a part of their next-gen upgrade process, PlayStation offers a number of features designed to help you move from PlayStation 4 to PS5. PlayStation 4 players will be able to join multiplayer games with PS5 players. We also have information on the next-gen for the Xbox Series X. And regarding upgrading eligible Ubisoft games from Xbox One to Xbox Series X, they posed another hypothetical question. I plan to purchase an Xbox Series X. How can I upgrade my eligible games on Xbox One to the next-gen version? And they talk about their own games: Watch Dogs Legion, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Far Cry 6. These eligible games will leverage the smart delivery technology Microsoft has developed, which means that you can buy the game once and play that title on whether your Xbox One or Xbox Series X consoles become both available. In order to complete the upgrade process from the current generation to the next generation console, you must have an Xbox Series X console, a physical or digital version of an eligible game, adequate storage, and a broadband internet connection. The use of broadband internet may incur bandwidth usage fees. So from what I gathered from this, it looks like you will be able to play older titles on Xbox Series X, but not on PlayStation 5. Now, I am not trying to entice and start a console war, although I can already see that building in the comments right now. So please try and keep it as civil as possible. But if that does turn out to be true, that is a huge advantage for the Xbox Series X over the PlayStation 5. Because just being able to jump back on old titles whenever you want, I feel like that's something that should be implemented into these consoles regardless. Like, it's 2020. Why don't we have the ability to go back and play anything we want? It seems a little bit silly. Now, focusing specifically on Rockstar here and how this affects them, this would obviously affect all their PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 2 titles. And that would be some classic games that you're probably still interested in playing, like L.A. Noire, Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto 4, Max Payne 3, Bully, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Grand Theft Auto 3. I mean, the list goes on and on and on of amazing titles that Rockstar chose to release, including DLCs like The Ballad of Gay Tony, Midnight Club, Undead Nightmare. I mean, I could seriously go on and on about all the amazing titles that Rockstar have released that you're now no longer going to be able to play if you upgrade to a PlayStation 5. And I don't know what Sony's reasoning for this is, because as it currently works with the PlayStation 4, they have been very supportive as far as offering backwards compatibility. Like, you can play all those older Grand Theft Auto titles on the PlayStation 4. You can play older games that are on the PS4. But why wouldn't you be able to do so when you bump up to the PS5? It just kind of seems like a no-brainer. And I don't know if there's some technological reasons for it. It's certainly not like a storage issue, because these older games are, roughly only a few gigabytes compared to the massive, sometimes triple-digit amount of gigabytes that we see with newer titles. So I'm really not too sure why this is something that Sony would choose to do when their competitor, Microsoft, and the Xbox looks like they're going to be able to do that as well. Now, there was a lot of reaction to this news. The majority of the responses that I saw was fans of the Xbox console and Microsoft basically just laughing and pointing at the Sony and the PS5 guys, saying that Xbox Series X is going to have this. This is why Xbox is better. And I'm not going to dive into that because obviously none of the consoles are out, so it's kind of hard to compare just based off of what we've heard. There were other users that were like, as long as PS4 GTA can play with PS5, that they're going to be happy. And that's an interesting subject. It does beg the question if Rockstar will implement cross-gen multiplayer for both Grand Theft Auto Online and Red Dead Online. Because wouldn't it be weird if you upgraded from a PS4 to a PS5, let's say, and you wouldn't be able to play with any of your PS4 friends? And it would also be interesting to see if these console makers, Sony and Microsoft, implemented like cross-platform multiplayer. I know that's sort of out of Rockstar's control, but it would be nice that if 2020 and this generation of consoles, we'd finally be able to not have to like separate Xbox players and PlayStation players. That would actually be kind of nice. And there were a lot of other responses as well that seemed to be frustrated with Sony. A lot of people saying, like, why does Sony dislike gamers so much? If Microsoft can have it, why can't Sony? Others were saying, like, what does PlayStation have against backwards compatibility? Others were like, I still have my PS2 and PS3. And to a degree, I have my older consoles as well. I just have them, like, in a storage closet. And they're, like, a pain to set up, especially when I, don't want to have, like, 6 consoles out at once. So that's why it is nice to have like this backwards compatibility stuff. It's kind of one of those features that you might not really notice is gone until you don't have it. Like it doesn't jump off the page like how many teraflops the PS5 or Xbox Series X has, or like how fast, the internal storage is. But it's one of those features that you're like, man, it doesn't have it. Like that's kind of a bummer, especially when you want to go back, get nostalgic and play some classic titles. And the last thing I want to mention is, why don't Rockstar do like proper remasters of this? Like Grand Theft Auto 4 and its DLCs, San Andreas and Vice City, even Red Dead Redemption. That would be amazing for proper remasters. Like, I would be so stoked for a remastered GTA 4. That's just like one example. I know they're doing that basically with GTA 5, but it would be cool if they did it with the older titles too. I'm not sure it would take all that much work from them. And I know that it would be nice, basically as like a fan service, to allow us to have these older Grand Theft Auto titles and Rockstar games essentially live on when the new generation arrives. But anyways, that is all the information that I have got for you guys in this video today. Hopefully you did enjoy. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Do you think this is bad news for fans of Rockstar games and their titles, and obviously Sony and the PlayStation 5? Let me know what you guys are thinking in those comments down below. Would love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and Red Dead Redemption videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.